MK and I am back with another 31 Days Cut File Fun for day 4. And today I am going to be, you know, doing my thing. So I've got ground espresso ink, just the regular ink, distress ink. I also have paper glaze brown dahlia, the kind of like a texture paste. And then I've got some shimmers, Rita on the Rocks, tattered treasure or tarnished treasure. I apologize. And the Pining for You, because I love that green. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of painting going on. I also have a few Misfit wood veneer. So this is my it's my Dottie About Flair collection for the month of June, but the shoes, instead of being scored, they ended up getting cut out. And I don't think I could represent that or, repeat it ever again because it's such a tight fit. But I wanted to use them because it's like, oh, wow, it worked. But it's definitely not something that I wanted to do. I have a little bit of burlap twine left. These chipboard pieces are from 49 and Market, the Hike More collection. So I pulled those off because there's barely anything left on that collection. I'm using it up slowly but surely. This is the cut file that we are going to be working today. And then I have these washi tape pieces, again from the 49 and Market Hike More. So I wanted to show you guys that this packaging also is the packaging for the washi tape. But I plan on using the packaging for my layout as well. I have 2 photos. This is, again, we're at the Palisades and looking at all the old buildings that were left. And then I have this wood grain piece that is from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to cut it down to 8.5 by 11. So I am working through all of my, I'm working through all of my smaller pictures, smaller layouts, smaller photos from my 2020 album because this is it. Once I am done with all of my large layouts, all I have left are the smaller ones, and so I'm working through those. But don't worry, not all of the layouts that I create are 8.5 by 11 or smaller. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut down my what's it called? My packaging, so that way I could have photo mats behind behind my photos and have them stick out a little bit more on top of this beautiful wood grain. I like the fact that it doesn't look like slats. It looks like just one solid piece of wood grain. So I really liked that that I had it. It's very rare to see this kind of wood grain, to say the least. So when I cut all these out, I did not realize, yes, I can see that the feathers do have the shape of them, but I didn't even notice them. It's weird what we do notice and what we don't notice. And so I just went to town chopping and cutting out all the elements from this washi tape that I wanted, thinking I would have to tear it. That was the thought process in my brain. Because like I said, I didn't even notice that the outline of the leaves was perfect. So yes, I chopped it out and cut it all up. And when I go to put them on the layout is when I realize that they're actually stickers and they have an outline. So yeah, it's one of those things, you guys. That's why I'm trying to be a little bit better at trimming down the elements, so that way when I do end up ripping them, they're going to be nice and flat. Well, silly me. I didn't see it. I just didn't. And I don't know why I didn't, because it's right there. But before I do that, I'm going to go and move on to the painting. Again, I painted this in super speed mode, just so that way the video wasn't too long. But I'm going to take my Pining for You and paint my Wander, and it's not bold and vibrant, you guys. I just wanted that undertone that it is green. Like it's almost like a green wood grain type of thing was what I was looking for. Then I'm going to take the Rita on the Rocks shimmers and paint one side of it, and it's going to blend into the Pining for You with the Tarnished Treasure in the center. So I wanted that fading look, and then once I realized that I kind of liked the Rita on the Rocks a lot more than the Pining for You, I went ahead and just went with it. I'm going to mix up the entire thing splashing paint all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just putting color down, and 9 times out of 10, all you're going to see is the edges anyways. So it's not, it's not that it had to be perfect, but I did end up liking the Rita on the Rocks a lot more than the Pining for You in this one. Like I said, I'm not really sure exactly what it is that I'm going for, but yeah. And then I'm going to take my Dahlia Brown in the paper glaze and put that on the bottom of my boots to make it look like they're dirty, is what I was going for. Even though they are boot prints, I wanted them to be like the bottom of our boots type of deal. So I'm going to take this chipboard and ink it up so that way it's not so stark white, because nothing on this layout is. But I'm going to do that for all of my chipboard pieces. Even these little wonky hearts that they had on there. Yeah, hearts are hard for me, you guys. I've already said this once. This is what I realized, that I did not need to chop down all my pieces. I figured it out right here. Yep. Lo and behold. Anyways, hearts are hard for me because once I pull them off of a sheet, they just look like an awkward shape. I don't know. There's no, I don't know, you guys. They're just so hard for me because of the shape that they are. They don't seem like they are a shape. I know it's hard to explain. But anyways, what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing a background using this washi tape. So I wanted to just flip and turn this entire layout, and I'm rubbing the washi tape in almost like a rub-on. So that way I get a wood grain look going through the rub-on. But I didn't want all this effort wasted. So I'm checking back and forth to make sure that not a lot of it is getting covered up. It's not that I wanted you guys, or I wanted the viewer to actually read what they say, but I didn't, I just thought that this is a lot of effort and I wanted it to be seen type of deal. So I am making a background just using this washi tape and the elements and whatnot. And I really do enjoy how it turns out, to be honest. So I'm okay that it didn't cover, didn't blend in all the way, but I do like how it turned out, especially with the wood grain behind it. So anyways, just something new that I was trying to do. And like I said, I was, cursing at myself slightly, saying, gosh, why didn't you see that these were stickers? And then I didn't have to chop up my entire packaging. I don't know. I talk to myself all the time. Reprimand myself is what I was doing, not curse. I reprimanded myself. So then I have these two large washi tape sayings left over. So I thought that the first thing I would do is try and decide how I was going to apply my mesh. And I am going to rip it up and then ink up the edges, because I don't want that stark white look going on, especially when you rip two pieces of paper. One is, you get the pattern on the top, and then two, you get the other half, you get that whatever the core color is. And so that's why I decided that I'm going to ink it all. Yes, I am. And then when I put the bottom piece down, it just doesn't work for me as far as what I was going for. And so I do play around with it quite a bit. Like I said, I didn't really want to cover up any of my washi elements that I've already put on. And so it's just a trial and error. It's a lot of, how do I really want this to look? I feel like I have blank spots. I'm not getting the coverage that I'm looking for. Did I want it to look like one full piece of mesh behind my layout? What is it that I'm looking for? And, these are all the things that are going through my brain as I am deciding how I want this mesh to look. And I decided, you know what? I don't want it to look like it's one solid piece behind my photo. So I'm going to go ahead and put it, rip it and tear it and put it in places where I feel like it needs to be, and just fill in the dead space is where I'm going with all this. It's like I said, this, putting this mesh down, I had a vision in my brain, but it definitely, didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, because when I put something behind a photo or an element, I want it to be seen. It's a lot of effort to go and just cover something up. And so I definitely wanted all of this mesh to be seen, but the bottom piece definitely does get covered up the most, to be honest. It definitely, I can't save it. I don't have anywhere else to put it. So it definitely gets covered up the most. But I do like how it ends up looking once I finally figured out how I want it to go. And then I can add the rest of my elements. I can add the last 2 little bits of washi. I have this burlap ribbon that I'm not sure. Now I do have double-sided sticky tape already added to this. This is the last little bit of this ribbon that I had, and it was just sticking on my desk. I find that it is the easiest way to attach this type of ribbon, so I don't have to wait for liquid glue to dry, is just by the tear and tape. So I am going to go ahead and use up all of it around my photo as an additional layer for my photo, even though it is quite the thick, like it's thicker than my normal layers that I would put on, but I like how it looks. I like the element that it brings in. So then I'm going to add my chipboard pieces to my photo, or to my layouts, I should say, my chipboard pieces and my wood veneers, just trying to see how everything lays out, rather than, I've already got it in my brain what I'm going to use. It's just, whether or not I like where it goes. Because I added that burlap, it makes for adding the chipboard a little bit tough, because now the chipboard doesn't have a flat spot to lay down to. I do recommend taking the chipboard and adding additional adhesive to it. Even though it is really super sticky, I always just add a little bit. Plus, I'm putting it on burlap, so I definitely want to make sure that it has that solid stick. I'm going to go ahead and add these 2 last little large phrases to my background. That way it looks like the washi tape is throughout the background instead of just where I wanted it in the blank spots. I wanted that representation that there might be washi tape peeking out somewhere else as well. So I really like how it looks, and they're all representation of what we're doing is what it is. I love all the little sayings and the I think they're definitions is what they're called. So yeah, this is just one of the houses that we came across, what's left over of the houses from when we went hiking in the Palisades. It was in 2020 that we went to go and check this out. It is Palisades, Nevada, is where we are at. It is an old mining town that relied on the railroad a lot, and the railroad still goes through this town. However, when I was doing my research to figure out what happened, it's just one of those things that I don't know if the mine dried up. I don't know if, something bigger and better was closer and they moved away. I'm not really sure, but this is another one of those mines that relied heavily on the railroad to bring in their supplies and whatnot. But the railroad is still there. It's still, the station that it used to stop at has been removed. But the trains went through as we were standing there. So I'm not really sure what happened to this little town, and it doesn't say anything, but now it is a private property. And it just asks that you be respectful for the people that still live there. So, the family that still maintains it. All right, this is my layout and how I used day 4's cut file. I absolutely love how it looked, even though I was struggling just a hair with how I was going to apply my mesh. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Be sure to check out the Facebook group where you can find all of the videos and the lives and everyone playing along. You do not have to have the kit. You don't have to have these exact same cut files to play along with us, you guys. It's in fact encouraged to use the cut files that you already had pre-cut. I mean, that's the whole point of this, is to use up your stash or follow along with us and play with us. It is up to you how you want to play along. Anyways, also too, Khristina is doing a live every day with us. Her lives can be found live over on the Redefine Creative Facebook group. But if you missed the live, check out the Facebook group for 31 Days of Cut File, because that is where the easiest way that you can find that live. So that way you don't have to search the feed, because Christina's group over there on Redefine Creative is busy. It is constantly moving and amazing to see all of that artwork being shown, but the lives do get lost a little bit. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I truly appreciate it, and I will check y'all later. Bye.